Alright, so this is Slack. It's a web-based but also a desktop-based application for group communication, and it's used to help facilitate project management and completion. It's basically an organized central depository for communication. Not stopping there, Slack is also the ability to integrate with other apps such as your social media of choice, MailChimp, or Google Drive in our case. We committed to using the app to complete this project, so we'll give you a tour of some of the things that we found useful. First thing we found useful were these channels over here on the left-hand side. So these channels can be thought of as strings of communication or topics for conversation. So in our case, we could make a PowerPoint conversation to track the conversation about how the PowerPoint's going, a video to see how the video is going, and also it just came with a random and a general channel as well. So these can be grouped however you want. If you're in a larger organization, this could be by geographical location. It could be by the project you're on. It could be anything that makes sense for your organization's situation. They're also public or private. So you can see this one here is private and that's locked, and you can choose who you want to share that conversation with. But everything here is visible, so there is a lot of transparency, which is a consistent note through this app. Something else I also found interesting, we weren't able to use it for our project, was the Twitter, the ability to link your social media feeds to a conversation. So if we were working in public relations, for example, and we wanted to monitor what's being said about the project that we're on or the client that we're working with, we can set this up and see what's going on, and then send messages to other people and make sure that everybody's aware of what's being noted here. Here you can see you can share this message or copy the link. It's a pretty solid integration. If channels are threads of conversation, then the direct messages are basically, well, just exactly that, direct messages. So you can choose who you want to speak to individually, or if you want to make a group conversation. Um, this is how we communicated primarily, since we didn't have very large of a group. Uh, we really didn't need to divide up into many channels. We had the ability to, but it wasn't completely necessary since we all divided and conquered the different aspects of the project. So this one central direct message aspect really was how we communicated. So another aspect that we're able to do, like I mentioned earlier, was connect to Google Drive. So this isn't just a messaging format, a messaging app. This is a way that we can share files. So these are some of the files. This is the format of how you share files. You can just pop them in here. You can make them private if you want. And then what's interesting is that in the conversation, you can ask how somebody's doing with the file. And you can say, oh, yep, here it is, and then you can give it to them. And in the file, you can attach notes. So if there's more specific notes to that file, you'll be able to add them right in there. All right, so in the project, while you're working through, you might have some trouble staying organized. So there's a very functional search feature here that allows you to uh, search not only for files and conversations, but also for the content that's in the files. So here is the delineation between files and messages. You're able to find all the files here and any messages that mention that. And oh, it looks like you might have a question here for us. Go ahead.
But I'm always on the go. Does this sync to mobile?
It does, actually. All right, so this is the mobile device version. The first slide I'm showing here is your notification. You can see right up there on top. Super simple. Once you're in the app, you can look just like it looks like on the desktop. On the left-hand side, you have all of your threads and your messages. On the right, you have all of your files. and the recent stuff that you've been working on. You have your files listed, super simple. Like I said, it's very much a mirror image of the desktop version. Everything looks just about the same, so if you can navigate the desktop version, then you can navigate this version. Here I went into the Twitter feed, updates all the time, real time, so you can see that there, and then in your messages you can just go through and scroll and have your conversations there, just like you would on the desktop. And so that is Slack.